Okay, guys, what we're going to be talking about today in Chapter 9, Section 2 is how to find the lateral area um, of a couple of different types of prisms, and also how to find the surface area of a couple kinds of prisms. In this first four questions here, directions to read: name each figure. First of all, all of the faces are polygons, so I know it's a polyhedron. Number two, when I look to see if there's two bases, I'm highlighting the bases. One of the bases is there. Another one of the bases is here. And I notice that the two bases are squares. So how I would name number one, it's got to be a square prism. It's got to be a square prism because the two bases are squares. So number one is a square prism. If we look at number two, I notice that there's a base here. It's a triangle. And down low, there's another triangle. That's the other base. And so because you got two congruent bases there, we're going to title this a triangular prism. Because the bases are triangles. Okay, if we look at number three, three is a cylinder. Cylinders do have two bases. The top base of that cylinder is a circle. The bottom base is a circle. The name for that is a cylinder. So three is a cylinder. Okay, and then number four, if I highlight the bottom base down below in green, which is a rectangle, and then the top base on top is also a rectangle. So four, this is a rectangular prism. Okay, because the two congruent bases are rectangles. Okay, in the next section, directions read: find the area of the base, the perimeter of the base, the altitude, the lateral area, and the surface area of each figure. Round your answer to the nearest hundredth if necessary. First and foremost, number five, let's name this. And I notice that the bottom here is a rectangle and the top is a rectangle. So this is going to be called the rectangular prism. Rectangular prism. Now, in order to find the lateral area, the first thing we want to do, going in order in the directions, is how to find the area of the base. Well, the base down here in red is a rectangle. And the area of a rectangle is found by taking the base and multiplying it times the altitude, or maybe you want to say height. So the area of the base, that rectangle, it's got to be 9 times 7. So the area of the base is 63 square meters. There's the area of the base. Okay? Area of the base. Now, second in the directions, how to find the perimeter of the base. The perimeter of the base, which the bottom rectangle in red, is going to be found by adding those four sides. Okay? So the perimeter of the base is going to be found by taking 9 plus 7 plus 9 plus 7. So the perimeter of the base is 9 plus 7 plus 9 plus 7. So the perimeter of the base is going to be 9 plus 7, 16, plus another 16, 32 meters. So the perimeter of the base is definitely 32 meters. Okay, second, the altitude, or maybe the height. Now, the altitude or the height, whichever you prefer, we're talking about of the rectangular prism, which is this blue segment, which is connecting always in prisms the two congruent bases. So both bases are agreeing, and the height of the prism will be the segment that connects the two congruent bases in blue there. So the height has to be 5, or maybe you want to use the word altitude. So the height is 5 of this right rectangular prism. Okay, next, the lateral area. The way to find the lateral area, okay, and I want to explain this real quick, what we're actually talking about. When we're talking about lateral area, we're talking about the area around this shape. So I'm going to start highlighting. We're talking about finding the area of this rectangle. And then finding the area of the rectangle over here. And then finding the area of the rectangle in back. And then finding the area of the rectangle over here in black. Okay? So the red rectangle in front, finding the blue rectangle, area of the blue rectangle in back, find the area of the green rectangle on the right, and finding the area of the black rectangle on the left, and then adding all those areas up will give us the lateral area of this rectangular prism, or area around this. The fast way of finding the lateral area of a prism, okay, without having to find the area of the front rectangle, back rectangle, rectangle on the right, rectangle on the left, there's a fast route. The area around this rectangular prism is going to be, take our perimeter value and multiply it by the height of this prism, which we found both of these. So the lateral area of this right rectangular pyramid is going to be our perimeter value, which was 32, and multiply it by the height, which is right up there, which was 5 meters. So our lateral area is 32 times 5, so our lateral area is going to be 160 square meters. That is actually, if you want to understand, that is actually the value of that front rectangle that was in red, the back rectangle which was in blue, the rectangle on the right, which I don't remember, I believe was in green, and the black rectangle on the left. Added those together is that answer. So we can always quickly find the area around this 3D shape by taking the perimeter of the base, which was 32, multiplying by the height, or how tall this rectangular prism is, 5 meters, which gives us the area of the 4 rectangles around it, 160 square meters. Now, last but not least, it says now find the surface area of each figure. Okay, so our surface area, or total area, is, we just found the area around this rectangular prism. All we have to do is take the area of the bottom base and the area of the top base and add that on to our 160 square meters value, which was the lateral area, and that will give us the total area, or surface area. So our surface area is going to be taking our lateral area answer and adding on the area of the top and the bottom. Well, we already found the area of one of the rectangles and just double it. If we go here, the area of the base that we did first was 63 square meters. So all we have to do is take 63 square meters and multiply it by 2, because there's a top rectangle and a bottom rectangle. So our surface area is going to be 160 square meters plus 126 square meters. Add those values together and we get 286 square meters for our total surface area. This would be the area of the 4 rectangles around it plus the area of the rectangle on top and the bottom rectangle together for the total surface area. Let's look at another problem. Number 7. First, I would name this a triangular prism. A triangular prism is the name of it. So let's start out. The directions on the previous page say first find the area of one of the bases. Well, since we called it a triangular prism, the area of the base is a triangle. So the area of a triangle, which is one of the bases, is going to be base times altitude divided by 2. So the area of this triangle in black, it's a right triangle. The base and the altitude, or base and height, are always perpendicular to each other. So the base of the triangle is 4, and the height of the triangle, or maybe you want to say altitude, is in green, is 3. So the area of this one of the bases is going to be 4 times 3 divided by 2. So the area of one of the bases, which is a triangle, is going to be half of 12. So the area of one of the base is going to be 6 square meter. That's the area of one of the triangles, which is one of the bases. Okay, next, the perimeter of the base. The perimeter of a base is going to be found by taking the perimeter of the triangle. And the way to find the perimeter of that triangle, which I've already highlighted, is taking the red length and adding it to the green length plus the black length. Okay, so the perimeter of the base, which is a triangle, is going to be 4, which is in red, the red segment, plus the green segment, 3, plus the black segment, which is 5 meters. So the perimeter around that triangle is going to be 12 meters. So the perimeter around that right triangle is 12 meters, and that triangle is one of the bases. The height of this prism be a little tricky. Well, here's one of the bases of the triangular prism. The other base is over here. So with prisms, the height of the prisms will always be the segment that connects the two bases. And since the bases are triangles in red, what connects the two triangles? That green segment right there, which is 3 meters. So the height of the prism is 3 meters. It's always the segment that connects the two congruent bases. Now, our lateral area of this triangular prism is going to be found by taking our perimeter value, which was the perimeter of one of the bases, which was a triangle, and multiplying it by the height of this triangular prism, which was 3 meters. So the area around this triangular prism is going to be our perimeter value, 12, times how tall it was, 3. So the lateral area is going to be 36 square meters. 36 square meters. Okay. Now the total area, or the surface area, is going to be found by taking our lateral area value, 36 square meters, plus the area of the two bases. Well, we already found the area of one of the bases. It was 6 square meters, but there's two bases that are triangles. So our surface area is going to be 36 square meters plus 12 square meters. So the total surface area is going to be 48 square meters. I'd like to thank you for tuning in on Chapter 9, Section 2, Day 1.